Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Boy, I'll tell you, what a absolutely beautiful morning. It's getting so much warmer out now that I don't have to put on my sweaters and stuff when I come out in the morning because it is getting so nice out here. And look at just how full. I told you these trees would get so full, and they are just absolutely chock full right now. And beautiful day, beautiful day. And I tell you what, I really love going out there and doing that walk and talk about last night. And I want to get back into doing that. And I can't wait till later on today when I can do that with you as well. It's going to be great. Well, guys, I'll tell you, the article that I was reading today really says a lot. Now, this has to do with this whole idea of pricing people out of the market. Now, you know how the WEF has been coming out there and poo-pooing like private vehicle ownership and stuff like that. And of course, by 2030, you see in California, they want everyone, all these new vehicles have to be, electric powered, can't have combustion engines and all that kind of stuff. And it's all a big attack on private vehicle ownership because they're promoting all this rideshare stuff. And of course, we're talking about planned obsolescence, aren't we? Where, they actually plan this stuff in where it forces people into certain circumstances. Well, in this article, it is really talking about the high price of what vehicles are getting to in terms of because of inflation, the cost of a vehicle. But the big deal is this: the interest rates in financing a new vehicle purchase are getting ridiculous. I mean, right now it's at 7.5% and only going to climb from there. Now you imagine taking out a car loan for 4 to 7 years, because that's what the average is. And you start paying 7.5% on that vehicle. And by the time you're done, you've practically doubled the price of that sticker that you bought that car for. And a lot of people are not even going to qualify under these new rates. And so what's that happening, guys? Look, they don't have to legislate us out of owning vehicles. They just have to price you out of owning one, don't they? So that you go out there, you can't afford the sticker that's on the window, let alone get approved for the financing to actually finance that vehicle. So now what we're talking about is a real have and have not circumstance. Absolutely, for sure. And these people that are putting this stuff out have got to be some of the biggest hypocrites that there truly is. Because look, they all go to Davos on these meetings. And how do they get there, guys? On these private jets. They're flying in from all over the world. Carbon footprint bigger than Bigfoot, than Sasquatch. And yet here they are talking about, oh my goodness, how we need to cut back and all these emissions and this and that, while they live it up big time. You and I can eat bugs while they can have, filet mignon and all kinds of other, luxury food items and things like that. It is absolutely obscene. But here we are seeing an actual situation where most folks are going to be priced out of genuine vehicle ownerships. And then, think of this. This is now affecting big time the used car market as well. And used cars, are we seeing some prices in used cars that are absolutely obscene? I'll give you an example. So Judy was in that accident, as you all know, and really, hey, by the way, guys, she's still going to therapy, and she is progressively working through what she needs to do to get better. And we're just believing God it's all going to happen sooner rather than later for sure. But she's still going. But needless to say, when they wrote off her vehicle, the amount that the insurance company paid us was literally, I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of almost 2/3 the price of a new one. I was absolutely shocked because I thought for sure, oh, well, the car's, a few years old now and, with the mileage and this and that, it's probably going to come in. I was blown away at what they actually gave us for that car. And it was really well. In fact, the amount that they gave us would have allowed us to actually get into another car that would have been, a little bit more than what we had, in terms of the style and this and that, whatever. But I'll tell you, it really shocked me. And used vehicle prices are going through the roof right now. And the reason for that is, guys, well, of course, they don't have all the supplies to manufacture and deliver on all of the new vehicles. But the thing is this too, these new vehicles, think about it. Unless you've got 30, 40, 50 grand sitting on the side to go in, walk on the lot and pick one up just like that, and most people aren't going to do it. And even if they did have that kind of money, a lot of people do like to, lease vehicles or finance them so that they can have, their own liquidity is not all locked up in a vehicle that's going to depreciate as soon as they drive it off the lot. Well, of course, that is having an impact. And that's why you're seeing used cars going way, way up because, people would rather go in and get a used vehicle on, rather than pay some of these other prices. And the fact is the supply for the new vehicles, look, what they're doing is truly obscene, where they're charging you to turn on an annual fee to turn on your heated seats. And if you want, this or that or whatever, imagine that. Imagine, and Ford was out there looking at that as an option where you would pay an annual fee to use the air conditioning that's already built right into your car. It's crazy. But these guys are out there and they are attacking private ownership of vehicles, and not just vehicles, guys. They also, if you go and read some of this stuff that's going out there, are really attacking private ownership of almost anything, including your home. I mean, isn't that the American dream? So that you can get out there, build up a great, history and go out there and get a home of your own and have your little piece of the American dream. Well, now they're attacking that, saying it's, you shouldn't be able to have your own home and stuff like this. And it's getting to the point of sheer ridiculousness. Now, if you think I'm making this up, look, fact check it. Go and get these articles right off of the World Economic Forum website and see what they have planned and what their desire for 2030 is supposed to be. They're literally coming out there, as you all know. By 2030, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy about it. Guys, that's called planned obsolescence. That's what it is. It's an economic model that came out in the 1930s during the Great Depression, and it was a way in which to stimulate the economy by making it so that either by legislation, you had to replace stuff, or that things would be built on purpose to break down and force people to go out there and spend money. And that's really what that was all about. And so now they're trying to do it with a big, big leasing model, and they're actually pricing people out of these various things. Now, the second article that I was reading and really interests me, of course, was this big congestion in Bitcoin because of all of the transactions and unconfirmed transaction surges. And I think it got to something like 455,000 unconfirmed transactions on the Bitcoin network. It is obscene. And guys, this is where, I remember in that last run, a lot of these exchanges, when they had these transactional volumes and stuff like that. Now, this is on the Bitcoin network, but needless to say, a lot of these exchanges were literally going down because people were trying to access them so much that the servers couldn't handle the volume. And so, of course, you couldn't get access for 3, 5, 6, and it seemed to only happen big time when there was a big spike price up or a spike down where people were trying to transact. And so you couldn't get on. Now, that is where I had signed up with Caleb and Brown as a brokerage there because I thought, hey, the added value there for me was I could get on the phone, I could talk to my broker, and that way that broker would actually accept my trade and show me and tell me what to do and where to send my tokens, on and on and on. And I would get it actually, I would get access to being able to do it. That was a big, big deal because these brokerages, they have access to these exchanges in a way that, most of us as retail persons don't. And so the over-the-counter, trading, network is big. And these guys would allow OTC, even at that time, for a minimum amount, $2,000 trade, and you could use over-the-counter. And I thought that was amazing. So that's one of the reasons I go out there and say, hey, look at brokerages instead of looking at exchanges, because they have a little bit more access to these things, and you're not going to get, stopped out or not being able to access the platform because of, all of the transactional volume that's going to go through. Now, I know it's in a way related with the Bitcoin thing, but what I'm talking about there is just transactional volume. Now with Bitcoin as a network, of course, that's not an exchange deal, but this did happen with exchanges as well. And it had a big impact on people being able to, and they literally were missing windows of huge opportunity because of that, price going up or price going down. And so you want to have that, keep that in mind, because that's a big deal when you're talking about either exiting or entering into this market and just wanting to have that kind of access where you can kind of get in there and, you know, that kind of stuff. So that was something that was important. Well, guys, I thought I'd end this thing off just throwing up a few pictures that I got with a bunch of the various influencers there over at XRP Vegas. So, hey guys, this is my slideshow of folks that I met at XRP Vegas. And here we have digital asset investor, just an amazing, amazing guy, really kind and generous. And I saw him just treat everyone with such patience, kindness. It was amazing to watch this guy. Now, here's digital asset investor and the official father of the digital asset investor channel. Both of them were fabulous. And here's Mr. Intuitive, really, really a great guy. And this guy actually was out there really connecting with a lot of folks as well. So very generous with his time. Just amazing, amazing guy. And there, of course, is John Deaton. And he was really amazing in the conference. And a lot of people just really enjoyed John, I'll tell you what. And this is Ray Fuentes from Link2. And this guy was truly just a really good, great connector and such an amazing person to meet as well. Here we have Mel Carmine. Mel was up with his wife, I think, and they were really having a great time. Coach JV. Now this guy, I tell you what, I really, really enjoyed him, and I can't wait. I want to do some connections with Coach JV. He is just an amazing, amazing person. And blockchain backer, man, the guy was holding back in the back there, really not taking the center stage. And I thought, what a really humble way to approach it, but very approachable guy to go up and get your picture with. Really, really great guy. And this is Bob Way, and Bob was exciting. His presentation, by the way, was absolutely amazing. And then finally, I got to meet Zach Rector over here, and Zach was really great. He was there with his wife, just a fabulous guy. Look, the whole thing was just absolutely amazing, guys, and I really, really wish you're all there because it was something else, I'll tell you what. And next year, I sure hope I get to see you there too. By the way, I'll tell you what, Judy and I, it was amazing. We were just so humbled and truly ministered to us of the number of people who showed their affection and their enthusiasm for this space and, of course, this channel. Now, having said that, guys, I'm also in the process of going out there and starting a Twitter. A lot of these guys said, David, you got to get a Twitter account. And I'm so technically inept in that regard. I mean, it took a while just to learn YouTube. So anyways, I'm going to get out there and try to open up a Twitter channel. When I get it up and online and whatever, I'll let you guys know that, hey, I'm over there on Twitter as well and that kind of thing. But look, hey, in terms of those, scammy things that get in the comments, I do not use WhatsApp. I do not use Instagram. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on all of these other ones where people want to come in and say, hey, chat me up and blah, 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 blah. Don't fall for that nonsense. That's really not me. I don't do that. In fact, guys, I try to give as much as we possibly can so that you can get out there and you can actually profit from this space. We believe in you. We were right in that spot. What you hear from Judy and I when it comes to that is you're hearing a first-hand real-life account of how things changed in our lives. And the only thing that we actually go out there and, because we don't have big sponsors or anything like that, although we've been offered heaps, we try to keep that, gateway open so that we can just be as transparent as possible. But hey, with the coaching, come on, guys, when you go out there and you find out about coaching, a lot of these influencers offer, these programs, and they're charging like $300 to $500, in some cases $1,500, and not even for an hour. Sometimes it's 30 minutes or only 15 minutes. And Judy and I looked at that and we said, hey, why can't we do this in a way where, yeah, there's some skin in the game, to be sure, but it's not so astronomical that, an average person couldn't really, look down the road, invest in themselves and do that. And that's why we only charge that $250. And hey, by the way, we benefit a lot of organizations through that. So guys, just consider where you're at in your situation. You take the time to just plan, and get out there and really just be encouraged. Go seize your dreams, because there's so many people that are just, I love what Michael Jordan says. He says, hey, I missed every shot I never took. Now, of course, I love to say it doesn't mean he made every shot he did take. But I'll tell you, we're guaranteed not to make it when we stop taking shots. So don't stop. Get out there, investigate the space, get to know it for yourself, and see what can happen. It really, really did change our lives in a powerful, powerful way. And that's why we get out there, and that's where the enthusiasm comes from. Guys, when you've lived it, don't you? It's kind of like, when a kid, he's saying, oh my goodness, that ride looks so scary, and another kid gets, oh my goodness, you got to go on it. It was absolutely fantastic, and on and on and on. And so, the kid gets up there, he's a little scared, he gets on there, and boy, he has the time of his life. And that's kind of how, we think about it like that. But anyway, guys, I really, really want to bless you. Hope you're having a fantastic week thus far. And until later on, when our video comes out tonight, and hopefully it's a great walkabout that we're able to do, have a great one and take care.